Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you folks doing? Welcome here. Welcome back to the Unnamed Wrestling Review. We are joined once again by Mr. Botch Guy and CWrestling. Botchy, man, we're going to start with you. You've been away for a couple of weeks. How you doing here today?
I'm just happy I'm home and everything is back to normal.
What you been going through here for the people who don't know?
I had renovations in my house and I had to pretty much put everything back together. So that took forever. And then other than that, it's just been wild and crazy with me. So, channel wise, it's been great, but like real life wise, there's been struggles for sure.
Stressful time, no doubt about it, but it's glad to have you. We're glad to have you back here, Botch Guy. CWrestling, how you doing here today, my man?
I'm good. I'm settled down now because now Botch Guy's back. We're going to be here for at least 2 hours. So.
At least, you know the ramble are going to happen. The rambles are going to happen here today.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half tops. All right, everybody. So let's kick things into high gear. We got the return of the Usos in a 2-on-2 match versus the Street Profits. Fan-friggin-tastic match. The Usos are back. What did you think about this? Who wants to start? Botch Guy, you want to start us off here?
CWrestling, start it off.
CWrestling, all right.
It was good. I liked it. I think, I went into SmackDown expecting shenanigans because something's going to, give in that tag match. And we got shenanigans, so what more can you want?
It was an awesome, awesome time there with the Usos defeating the Street Profits. Botch Guy, did you see Montez Ford leap over the corner turnbuckle, like flying from the heavens? What do you think about that?
It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But the thing about Montez Ford is, doesn't matter what he does it at such a high level that you just know one day in the future, you just know one day he's gonna be, a singles competitor and eventually win a major championship. It's just a matter of time with him, but it's good that what they're doing with him, I guess.
Yeah,
for now.
Really good to see what they're doing there. But at the end of the match, we got something that we might have to touch on a little bit later with Roman Reigns. CWrestling, Roman Reigns here, not happy with how the Usos are going about things. My man, what did you think about this whole Roman Reigns interaction?
It's so good. He's literally the best thing on SmackDown without a doubt. And the way they keep having him dominate even his family and friends is so well done.
The line at the end of the show, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but with Roman Reigns saying, "Which one are you?" Going back to that whole storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited to see where we go from here. I really am. Wait, where are we right now? What show? Botch Guy's confused because I read everything out loud. That's what I do.
Where are we right now?
We are just kind of going.
SmackDown.
We are on SmackDown, my man. We are on SmackDown. Roman Reigns conversing with the Usos, and they're doing too well at the moment. We'll talk about them more throughout the show, though. But let's get into the next match that ended up happening. Natalya and Tamina defeating the Riot Squad. CWrestling, buddy. Ruby Riot. Let's start there.
Yeah, I got the wrong thing here.
I miss Ruby Riot. Have you got the right SmackDown, Conman?
Am I reading the wrong one?
I think you might be.
You're reading the wrong one. I'm like, what are you talking
about?
about?
This is very, very strange. Like,
Am I seriously reading the wrong one?
I thought I was tripping.
Okay, because
when you were talking about the Street Profits, I'm thinking.
I know. Sorry, everybody. So
tripping. It was him. I'm like, why are you talking about the Street Profits?
I'm on the wrong one. I don't think. Oh my good God! I see exactly what I did here.
Last week we had none of these problems.
No, this is all on me. This is so on me. So I know exactly what ended up happening here, guys. Last Friday was my birthday, and I got ham showed on the stream. And so what I'm talking about off the top of my head is mixing both SmackDowns together. Yes, I'm looking at the wrong results, but I'm literally mixing two SmackDowns together back-to-back weeks. So completely on me. Let's start this over here. Because what I'm talking about with Roman Reigns not being happy with the Usos is Roman Reigns kicked off SmackDown, and after last week, their chance to become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, he is clear that they need to get the job done. Take it away, CWrestling. I'm so sorry, everybody, for confusing you guys, but take it away here.
As I said, it's the same thing. Roman Reigns is the best thing on SmackDown. The Usos, they promised to get the job done. there was always going to be shenanigans because they're not going to do that on a SmackDown. And shenanigans were plenty.
Yeah, I feel like a dumb bum over here. I was reading the wrong SmackDown. Botch Guy, your thoughts there? I know we touched on Roman for a sec.
Roman Reigns continues to be everything that I wished he was going to be. There's nothing he does that's not entertaining me. I don't even care if they start off like 15-minute promos to start the show if it's Roman Reigns doing it, because everything he touches is interesting to me. There's a reason why SmackDown ratings are so good, and a majority of the reasons is not just a 2-hour show, is because Roman Reigns is he's just on another planet. And the stuff that he's doing with the Usos, it just makes sense. The story is so logical. It makes me wonder, like, why don't they use some of that logic with some of the other storylines? But who knows, man? But Roman Reigns is great.
Well, I mean, hey, we got a doll on Raw, so there might be some missing logic on that show as well. We'll get into Raw, don't you worry. We got Rey and Dominic Mysterio defeating the Usos in a SmackDown tag team title match. We are talking about the right tag team title match this time around. This was a good match, very solid. CWrestling, I know you're still a fan of the idea of Dom somehow turning on Rey down the line. Do you think that they continue to lead in the right direction from here?
Yes. I think you wrote Dominic off for a few weeks. There's rumors now that you're going to get Roman versus Rey for what's the next pay-per-view? Hell in a Cell. And I think, that's a way to set it up. That's a way to start planting seeds. Dominic's not there for Rey and things like that.
I agree. Botch Guy?
Kind of skipped a bit there, though.
Well, okay, like I'm fine with this whole storyline, having them together, but I thought they were going to kind of move off of this and just have the Usos kind of win the title there and then just continue on doing something with the Usos with Roman Reigns. But I guess you need something for Roman Reigns to do against Hell in a Cell. So it makes sense, potentially, spoiler alert, him going to be going against, either, Dominic or Rey Mysterio at the Hell in a Cell there. So I don't know. I'm quite enjoying this storyline as a whole, but I do feel like there's no chance for Roman to lose against a guy like Rey Mysterio. So it's literally 100% storyline driven, which is fine. But the match needs to be amazing for people to actually care about it.
It needs to be like Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio. They need to do something with Dominic and getting involved as well. Like, it needs to happen. At the end of this match, Jimmy Uso's shoulder was actually off the mat, which continues to protect the Usos moving forward. So there's a little bit of controversy there with that.
And I did, just like I mentioned, I did make a video on that. Because people were asking me if it was a botch or not. It was obviously a storyline driven botch. It was pretty evident, especially a lot of people didn't even notice on my Did You Catch That? He was pointing, the other Uso was pointing. I always call him the other Uso, I always forget.
The other Uso.
So the other Uso was actually pointing at the shoulder while it was happening. So like, come on, right? Like, so it's pretty obvious it was a storyline driven botch. And as the show went on, it was even more obvious. So
absolutely. Seth Rollins is going to continue his feud with Cesaro by the looks of it. The promo that he cut backstage. Let's talk about this CWrestling, because Seth Rollins' promo game these last few weeks have been weird as hell. Do you get the same feeling?
Yeah, 100%. This is what he'd started to do when he became the Messiah for the first time. This was the kind of stuff he did. And then they kind of moved away from it and dampened it down quite a lot. And then in recent weeks, they just brought it back with a vengeance, and it's really cool. It's really, it's different.
You're enjoying it?
It's different to anyone else. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm not quite there yet. I think I'm a fan of Seth Rollins, which is why I'm cautiously optimistic with it, but I haven't been a fan of the delivery recently. Botch Guy, how about you? What do you think about Rollins?
I like the drip, to be completely honest. I think the drip is a good sign. I don't know, man. I like that should be my catchphrase. I realize I say that a lot. I don't know, but I don't know, but like Seth Rollins, I feel honestly, I don't find him that interesting right now. Personally, I would like him to go, if you're going to do a heel, just go back to that laughing gimmick he had with J&J. Like seriously, when he was cracking up over and over, I just thought it was so funny, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling this one. I've had some gimmicks where I obviously really like what Seth has done, and then other ones where I'm not feeling it. So this one, I don't get that excitement watching Seth Rollins right now. That could change with the storyline. So
where do you think they're going with Rollins from here? Because there's rumors that it was going to be Rollins versus Reigns at SummerSlam, and that seems to be pushed to the wayside now for John Cena versus Roman Reigns. What do you think they do with Seth Rollins CWrestling?
I think personally you build him up, and if you're not going to do it at SummerSlam, Do it after SummerSlam. And maybe even like there's rumors now of a draft after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
If they do that, maybe even put him on Raw.
Hell, hey, Rollins on Raw, it worked for a little bit. I still feel like SmackDown is where Rollins has more places to go with his story right now. If anything, I think you might want to try Roman Reigns over on Raw. Do a swap of the Universal title and the WWE title, potentially, at that time. Botch Guy, what do you think about that?
To be honest, I think a revamp is in order. And I don't just mean Seth Rollins. I mean, like, WWE in general, especially with Monday Night Raw. I would love to see some Undisputed Era type stuff happening, some NXT stuff, maybe build a new faction with Seth Rollins, Adam Cole, and all them. Maybe I think something like that would be definitely getting more interesting. You can put the credible WWE guy with the credible NXT guy, put them together. They both have egotistical attitudes. And then eventually, after a long feud, you will have the Undisputed Era get back together with Kyle O'Reilly, Fish, and all them. And you can have a big moment with fans, kind of marking out. So I think you need to start building up a new storyline using some of the NXT talent. And I don't mean just call up NXT talent, have something for them. Look what happened to Damian Priest. I already don't care about him. This is just common sense, right? So sometimes common sense is not very common in the WWE, but that's what I would do personally. Be creative, do something different.
Yep, for sure. CWrestling, anything to add to that?
No, I think that's a good idea. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Seth on Raw, just because I don't think with Roman on the head of the SmackDown table, if you will, I don't think you're going to get Rollins get pushed into that main event for a long period of time. On Raw, like him versus Lashley and stuff, it's credible, good wrestling. So it gives him an opportunity to shine.
It'll work. There's no doubt it'll work. I'm just I'm cautiously, again, I'm optimistic for Rollins on SmackDown. I think there's a lot more for him to do. But we will see what happens with the draft, possibly towards the end of August, start of September. We got Carmella defeating Liv Morgan. This one, unfortunately, there wasn't much of a showing for Liv Morgan. CWrestling, you're a big Liv Morgan fan. What's your takeaway from this one?
I disagree with that. I think it was a really good showing for Liv.
Okay.
It was a short match, but they gave her time with a promo. They actually gave her entrance. They didn't give her the jobber entrance and stuff. So I'm hopeful that they've got a plan for Liv.
Bocce?
I hope they have a plan for her too. I don't think they do. It sucks, man. Liv Morgan is one of those people that does have a lot of talent, and she has a lot of charisma and a lot of personality, and they just don't let her show it. That's why a lot of people wanted her to be Sister Abigail back in the day when they were trying to figure out who's going to be the Alexa Bliss, basically, right? So it's a shame, really. I thought she did well, like, for what she was given, but she wasn't given anything. So it's like, it's kind of a shame. She needs to be put in a more prominent position. And as you guys know, I'm like maybe the only huge Carmella fan on earth, but I think Carmella has just an unbelievable amount of, charisma and talent there. And like, I'm not talking about pure wrestling talent. I'm just talking about, like, she's intriguing to watch. Every time I watch her, I don't turn off the TV. I don't change the channel. I don't go for pee breaks. I don't go for any of this crap that a lot of people like to say. I think she's great. I think she's very talented. I think there's a missed opportunity here for both these ladies. I think both of them are more credible than Tamina and Natalya. I know Natalya has the history, but I think people would be more interested in seeing a push with Liv Morgan and Carmella than they would be with Natalya and Tamina.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right, somewhere around there. I like that they are giving Carmella a new gimmick of the most beautiful woman in all of the WWE. It's probably a pretty shallow gimmick, but it's still going to be something for her to do, and it actually fits her character as well.
To add to that, the commentary team throughout the match kept making points about Carmella being a 2-time Miss Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And that Liv Morgan didn't stand a chance, maybe because, Carmella's this accomplished athlete. And the way they built that up just had me thinking, what if they continue to have Liv lose to Carmella over the next month and a bit, and then she maybe overcomes her at Money in the Bank?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but that type of booking is what people hate the most. Like, it's not an underdog story if she gets destroyed over and over and she gets a surprise victory. No one's going to really care. They'll just take it as a surprise victory, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. And I mean, she is only 27 years old as well. So, like, there's a lot left to tell with Liv Morgan. She's just starting, really. And the fact that we are so behind her already screams to me that she's going to find her time at some point, probably with live fans. I feel like she could play almost almost what Nikki Cross is doing right now could be awesome for Liv Morgan, being this underdog going up against some main event type talent and scoring some surprise wins along the way and building her up. I think Liv Morgan has a lot of talent. We're all pretty high on her here. We got Bianca Belair challenging Bayley to a match at Hell in a Cell, and Bayley just laughed and 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 laughed. All around the Thunderdome, every single screen was just Bayley laughing. That's a meme. Botch Guy, your takes on this one.
I know some people liked it. I had no care. I thought it was okay. I when I saw all the screens, that I immediately thought, I'm like, oh man, let's start a feud between Alexa Bliss and
Bayley. Yeah, let's do it.
Who can put more faces on the screens, right? Excuse me. Go to CWrestling. 1 sec.
It just made me think, gosh, I'm pleased they're doing this because it shows that we're going to have fans back soon and that Thunderdome's going.
Yep.
They're using it while they can.
Getting all of their spots in that they possibly have imagined. But yeah, I personally just, Bayley is such a fun character right now. I love everything that Bayley is doing. Just have her cackle and cackle and cackle all day long. Let's just get it. Botch Guy over there doing some aerobics. I don't know what he's doing. But we got ourselves King Corbin.
No, let me interrupt you. I have some aerobics for you guys. You guys ready? Chat, you ready? Loot. Cha, loot, 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 cha.
How do I take you off of this? So I took me off. There you go. He's out of the call. It's just me and CWrestling again. All right. King Corbin defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm kidding. He's still here, everybody. King Corbin defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. So we talked about this last week, CWrestling. We talked about it the week before as well. Why did this happen again? Just legit question. Why do you think this happened again?
Lazy booking.
Okay, cool. So you think it's lazy booking as well. Botch Guy, you agree with that here?
Yeah,
I
agree.
It's lazy. I could not comprehend after the win last week why you would have King Corbin go over Nakamura, and then in the end, Nakamura still walk out with the crown. To me, King Corbin is the babyface in that scenario. The dude has his stuff stolen. He beats him fair and square. He goes to put the crown back on his head, and he gets attacked from behind by Rick Boogs. And then you have Nakamura take a cheap shot. That's heel tactics. That's not babyface stuff. What? I cannot comprehend. CWrestling, did you get that from that?
Yeah, basically. You can save it a bit because Corbin hit Boogs first. So, there was revenge there. But again, it just didn't look right,
Mm-hmm. And apparently I made another con botch. I've got the wrong chat in here on my screen, so that's fun. Botch Guy, any thoughts on that to go with King Corbin beating Nakamura anymore?
I think I made enough rant videos recently in the last month, so I don't want to do another one. But honestly, it's ridiculous. You're finally pushing Shinsuke Nakamura, then you have Baron Corbin win, and then you have the whole heel stuff going on with Shinsuke, even though he's a face now. I don't makes no sense to me. This some of the booking. I know this is SmackDown. I gotta give him credit, but just because SmackDown's good does not mean they nail everything, and that was a miss. That was a missed one for sure.
Absolutely.
Where's the old school booking where you have Nakamura wrestle someone completely random for no reason whatsoever, and Corbin comes in and attacks him in the match?
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Also, I think that WWE will get back to doing some more of those enhancement talent matches. I have a feeling that with the world being as messed up as it has been, it probably limited the amount of people they were bringing into the WWE center, so they're just using their roster, right? But I hope that's going to be the case moving forward, because enhancement talents, that's right there would have been a perfect match for Nakamura, just destroying somebody and then Corbin getting some heat on him. We had Apollo Crews defeat Kevin Owens in the Intercontinental title match. This one was good. I thought it was pretty solid. Botch Guy?
Intercontinental match. Apollo Crews and Kevin Owens. Yes. It was a good match, but okay. Let me say this. Commander Aziz does nothing for me. I know, he's so goofy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the bad cosplay outfit or just the fact, I liked the Daba Kato. I thought Daba Kato looked badass. I was like, whoa, he looks cool, uniquely looking. And then you put on like this bad cosplay ass, kind of outfit on him, and they call it like what is the nail? What is that? What's the nail? What's the finisher?
The Nigerian nail.
The Nigerian nail. It's just a thumb, right?
It's a Samoan spike. He even does the Umaga tongue thing.
It is the Samoan spike. Oh,
Yeah.
I take that back. That I actually don't mind the finisher, but
I
don't know.
The name changes everything for Botch Guy.
Hey, listen to this. Hey, since you want to talk crap, listen to this. Does an entrance not change stuff for wrestlers?
Okay. All right.
How many times
presentation versus names. I'll give you that though.
Remember Keith Lee when he came out to his entrance, his first one, like the one on Raw. You know how pissed people were? It completely changed the look of his character because of it. My opinion.
Great one to also go off of is with the Viking Raiders with their name change. People were pissed off to the Viking experience. So I will give you that one, Botch Guy. There you go.
I turned them right back. The match was fine. They had a nice Death Valley driver on there on the apron, which kind of it was the AA, right? It was the John Cena's finisher. So is that his finisher now, or?
I don't think so. I think it's just a move that he's using.
I could have had a sick clickbait video there, chat. I could have had like Apollo Crews uses the John Cena's AA. Oh my god.
He should definitely call that the AC.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, see?
There you go.
There you go. But that match right there, guys, it was pretty quick though at the same time because obviously of the little finish right there. But it was good. Let's go here to Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio defeating the Usos via disqualification thanks to Roman Reigns. We will talk about Raw here in a hot second, but let's talk about this main event here yet again because this one I thought I'm not a fan of DQ finishes, but I liked this one. CWrestling, your takes on this match?
Perfect. Really perfect. It's one of those main events that makes you go, okay, what's going to happen next?
Yep.
Was Roman going to attack the Usos? Was the Usos going to stop Roman? Was Jay going to leave with Jimmy? Every moment just had you glued to the screen because you didn't know what was going to come next. And then next week, what happens? In the build up to Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell. There's so many pay-per-views they're advertising on. But Hell in a Cell, what's the build? What's going to happen? Mm-hmm. Is anyone going to turn on anyone? Are they all going to be one big happy family? We don't know.
Botch Guy, do you think they're going to be one big happy family?
It was. I like the mystery of the match because I just like CWrestling said, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. There were so many different ways they could have went with it, and they went with a pretty safe way, I would say. I'm guessing setting something up for the pay-per-view for sure. But they could have done a lot of different things. I will say this though, man, like the Mysterios are doing a really good job, at least looking somewhat, not credible, but at least looking kind of like, okay.
Oh, sorry, Botch Guy. Somebody just dropped the sneaky dono. I can't hear a word anybody is saying. Sorry about that. But thank you, Dylan Fury. I appreciate the 10 bomb, buddy, so much. Sorry, take it away again, Botch Guy.
Yeah, so the Lucha House Party, unfortunately, is not going to be getting to... Oh, sorry, we're talking about something else. Yeah, so I feel like it was good, man. I think it was fine. Like, I don't know, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, buddy. We had Triple H's theme song playing over you. Nobody was hearing a word you were saying. But we were talking about the end, and you were talking about the Mysterios, how they are seeming more and more credible these days going up against...
Yeah, they look more credible. And the fact that they made Dominic Mysterio, who is, very new to the company, who is the son of, Rey Mysterio, who doesn't exactly look like your prototypical wrestler. He doesn't, let's be honest, right?
Nope,
he doesn't look like your prototypical kind of wrestler. And the fact that they're making him look kind of credible against, I guess credible is the right word, against all those guys, I think that's nice. That's nice to see. And it does add, so when they're done with this feud, they can go on and do something else, and they can be like, hey, I was in the middle of the ring with Roman Reigns and the Usos and all that, so, right?
Damn straight. At the end of it, though, Roman Reigns locked in the guillotine on Dominic Mysterio, and Jimmy Uso took some issues with that. Jimmy Uso saying, not like this, and he leaves. So, do you guys think, potentially, Jimmy versus Jey Uso inside Hell in a Cell? CWrestling, do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's too soon.
The winner gets to be Roman Reigns' bitch.
Well, I mean, hey, let's leave it to the live chat as well, guys. What would you like to see? Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think they go in a different direction? Because, again, I think all three of us don't have an actual clue what's going down at Hell in a Cell. Any theories from either of you guys?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw something out there. I think Jimmy Uso is going to turn on Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso is going to help him out. I think it's happening. I know a lot of people think it's not going to happen because of how Jey has been kind of acting, but they've been giving a lot of good facial, like, kind of body language, kind of pushing here that maybe, just maybe, that might be the route they're going to be going. I would love to personally see the Usos team up against Roman Reigns, because there's an easy storyline now moving forward with all the three, right? It writes itself. So I don't think personally it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna do another safe kind of ending, and maybe you'll have like a return or something. But I would love to see them continuing this and have Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso team up and maybe do a double super kick or something after some dramatic. Maybe Roman that goes off on Jimmy and Jay's reluctant, and then finally is just can't do it anymore, and then they team up or something. I don't know.
See, any theories for yourself?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get someone to face Roman, whether it's Cena or Seth, and in the build-up we're gonna have a tag match, Roman and Jey versus whoever and Jimmy, Uso in each corner.
Interesting. You think that's going down at Hell in a Cell? Something like that?
Not. I think maybe in the build to SummerSlam, maybe Money in the Bank.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I can see that going down there on the build to SummerSlam for sure.
Wait, so you're saying like Cena and one of the Usos versus Roman and Jey?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but then like that kind of lowers the star of John Cena. Like,
does
John
it?
Cena. Oh, I think so. I think he needs to be in a singles match. Like, this is a big deal.
Oh, I see what he's saying though. On the build to SummerSlam, so you would have stopping off along the way. So like,
are you saying like? Oh no,
Like,
no,
you got Money in the Bank with fans.
we got Money in the Bank at July 16th, and then we have SummerSlam on August 20 something, whatever it was, August 21st.
And fans are back for Money in the Bank, so they're gonna want to draw. So
they might have Cena. You know what? At the bare minimum, they might have Cena come out at the end of Roman Reigns' match and kind of stare him down at Money in the Bank. I kind of agree where Botch Guy is going with that. Like, where it's not necessarily dropping his star down, but you don't want Cena's first match back to be not a singles match. I think that's where you're kind of going. Yeah,
it would be overshadowed in my opinion. I think if Cena's going to come back, he needs to be the main focus against Roman Reigns, and you can't have you can have the Usos around, but like, you can have that kind of in the background. Like, you need to have John Cena as the main reason.
I could see along the way if somehow, some way, John Cena and Roman Reigns have to team together. We've seen a storyline like that in the past. It's kind of their go-to. We even seen John Cena and The Rock tagging together against Miz and R-Truth at a pay-per-view. So like, it could very well be something like a random tag team versus Roman and Cena, or it could be the Usos versus Roman and Cena, or whatever they end up doing.
Usos versus Roman and Cena would be interesting. That's more interesting to me, because then you have a easy storyline, and then when they turn on each other or whatever, then you start the single storyline, right? So,
well, there we go, guys.
2-for-1 special.
Twofer. Well, let's go over to Raw. Okay, everybody.
You got the right one?
Yes, I think I got the right one here. June 7th, 2021. Oh, man, that's the biggest con botch I think I've ever had on this channel. It's got to be up there.
I loved every moment of it.
Before we get into Raw, though, did you guys both like it? See wrestling? Were you a fan of this week's Raw?
I'm trying to remember.
Most of it, yeah. I think it was a decent Raw.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Botch Guy, for the most part?
The first hour was awesome. I thought the first hour could have been like, this show could have been like the show of the year. And it's not that it got really bad. It went
downhill, right?
It went downhill. And then the ending was pretty funny. Like, you guys actually saw I actually was recording. Usually when I record, I know something's like, you kind of guess, you got a feel if things are coming, right? So I start recording 10 minutes, 15 minutes early before something usually happens. And I remember clicking record and then just waiting. I'm like, nothing's happening. And then 5 minutes left in the show. I'm like, okay, something's going to happen. So I have to edit this thing out. So then like, while it was happening, I'm like, what's going to happen, right? Something crazy is going to happen. And then they had Shayna Basler run from a doll, right? Like, so, I'm like, when it ended, I'm not sure if you actually watched my video, guys, but when it ended, my last like 10 seconds of it was like, no, that can't be it. No, what's the word? No, it was pretty funny.
Well,
I thought it was funny.
We will definitely talk about that ending in detail in a little bit. But first up, let's start off with the show, with the over-the-top rope battle royal. There was 5 teams, well, technically 5 teams in it. The Viking Raiders end up winning this over-the-top rope battle royal. But beforehand, this was just a funny friggin' segment from AJ Styles saying, that's cap, that means lie, to, of course, Miz coming down in the wheelchair, rolling down in slow motion. I just loved everything for this opening segment. And then also, during this match, Riddle ate a Trouble in Paradise, saving Randy Orton. So they continue to build on their partnership there. In the end, the Viking Raiders win. Are you guys a fan of this one, CWrestling?
Yeah, I think it was a really good move. Me and Botch Guy actually debated this on DMs during Raw. He's very much for this thing that they should have pushed RK Bro. I think the psychology of having an actual tag team win the match was a lot better.
Botch Guy, to defend your point?
I think they should be pushing RK Bro to the absolute moon. I am happy for the Viking Raiders, but I need to say something, and it's kind of a heel thing, but I need to say this. See, and don't get mad at me, okay? See, I need to say this from the bottom of my heart. Nothing drives me more nuts in the WWE than having a group that's not featured, that's not pushed, out of nowhere, win this big thing, and suddenly they're relevant again. I like long-term booking. I like when they slowly book someone to get better and better and more credible. So when they have that battle royal moment, you have that big win. It gives them kind of takes them somewhere. No one gave a crap about the Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders weren't even published on TV. They showed up once in a blue moon. They had this random, squash match. No one was talking about them. No one cared about them. Didn't do anything for me. And then they win this battle royal with all these big groups and kind of, in my opinion, hurting RK Bro a little bit by that win. I like the Viking Raiders. I'm happy they won as for them. But a storyline driven wise, it made no sense. Zero, zilch, nada. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. I think it was a huge missed opportunity. And I just broke my headset, so I can't hear you guys.
Oh, well, okay. Well then, I'm glad you can fix it. All right, there we go. So Botch Guy, the awesome part with wrestling is everybody is obviously able to have their own takes on whatever stories, and if they like people winning or if they don't like people winning, and yada yada. For myself, I actually personally was a big fan of the whole presentation of the Viking Raiders during this match. In the end, they were the only tag team standing in that ring with both members still in that ring. So to me, it made a lot of sense why they won. They're also former Raw Tag Team Champions, and they were also out with an injury. So that, to me, this is a nice way of reintroducing the Viking Raiders.
If this was the first time you saw them after their injury and it was a big surprise moment, and this is a big surprise victory, then it makes a little more sense. But they came back.
I disagree. I disagree.
They've been back for a while.
Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna that's exactly it, Botch Guy. They have been back for a little bit, and they just won a battle royal to go after the tag team champions. Not even like they pinned anybody, right? They just threw people over the top rope, and especially when people were just in that ring and not even as a full team, right? The reason RK Bro lost was because they didn't have both members actively in that ring at that point. Same with the New Day, same with Mason T-Bar, right? Same with Lince Dorado when he didn't have Grand Metalik, and same with Morrison when he didn't have The Miz. So to me, I liked it, but that's the awesome part with wrestling. It's all to each our own, right? See, wrestling, anything left to add to that before we get on to the next segment?
Rip me.
It's just the beauty of crowning a number one contender. It's the whole beauty of the Royal Rumble match where potentially anyone can win. Like you could literally have a Royal Rumble where Drew Gulak won it if they wanted to push him to the moon. Mm-hmm. It might be a big shock to people, but it could happen. So to do it in a tag team battle royal, I think it's fine. And again, who are they going to go up against? AJ and Omos. I don't think the Vikings are going to win that match.
No.
And I don't think RK Bro would have won that match. So which one's better to lose to Omos and AJ?
RK Bro would have won that match. AJ and Omos have done nothing credible either. Let's not pretend like AJ and Omos is this super monster team. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But at least if RK Bro won, they could credibly go against because they've been pushed this way. They've been pushed. They've been talking about how they were undefeated. They were talking about like last 2, 3, 4 weeks. Those backstage segments and even the commentators. This team is just the most unexpected team. They're undefeated.
So why would they win?
Because they can go after the title.
But that doesn't make sense. They're not on the same page.
Doesn't matter if they're on the same page. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were on the same page.
We bitched about it for months.
Because people don't like Nia Jax and Shayna. They like Shayna a little bit, but they don't like Nia Jax. RK Bro is heavily liked. Like, people love it. I remember I was talking to Polania Productions on Twitter there, and we were talking back and forth, and we're just talking about how, like, I hope they don't mess, RK Bro up. And even CWrestling, I talked to them. We're like, we hope we don't mess, the RK Bro up, because it's like the most entertaining part about Monday Night Raw. So
legit question here for you, Botch Guy. Do you think, in your opinion, that they messed them up here? Because
I hurt them. I don't think they hurt them enough that they can't recover. No, because they continued on a storyline with them later on, but then they just had them lose again. It's like losing is fine if it's storyline. I know it was a storyline driven loss because of how, like, they're not really on the same page completely, but they were getting on the same page. They flipped the switch this week. It's not like they weren't. He was doing RKOs in the middle. I know they did in the Battle Royal started, but I'm talking about before that when they did the RKO. Like, they were starting to mesh. The WWE creative decided that, we're not going to have the mesh anymore. We're just going to go completely in the opposite direction instead of kind of half it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I think RK Bro deserves better.
I think they will get better. I think that this is the idea of building up AJ and Omos a little bit as a credible tag team. You don't want Omos losing right now, okay? Like, you don't want him losing. So I think that this is a good direction for them to move in, and I do think that RK Bro will eventually become tag team champions. I think that will happen. I think it would be too soon right now. They're not on the same page. The ending of the show here today, they weren't on the same page. So that's that right there is going to be a difficult one to sell to becoming a tag team champion, right? Especially when you have a team like the Viking Raiders right there, who are an established tag team together. But lovely differences of opinion here. Let me know here in the live chat, what do you guys think would have been the proper decision? But let's get on to Jackson Riker versus Elias. Riker re-debuts here with a new look, kind of. He's a loose cannon. He's unpredictable. And he's a babyface. That's going to work. CWrestling, your thoughts on this one?
I will never cheer for Jackson Riker, WWE. And I'm not. Why does he look like Matt Cardona, who's just done a really big workout?
He does.
He really does, doesn't he?
He does. I didn't think about that one there. Botch Guy, are you a fan of this new Riker character and where he's going?
I thought he looked like Batista and Bobby Roode did like one of those Dragon Ball fusions and combined into like this combined version. So that's what I thought he looked like personally. I don't like all the politics stuff with Riker. I'm assuming it's not like really bad, like Velveteen Dream stuff. I'm thinking it's like something different.
Oh no, it's just like
I don't know.
He spoke up during a very stupid time. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
like
it's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know that. So personally, I can't really hate him because I don't know about it. So if I read about it and now I hate him. But as a character on the roster, I think he looked great. I thought he looked strong. I thought he looked credible. I thought the new look made him look good. I quite liked it. I thought he looked a lot more credible than I thought he was going to look. And that new haircut looks fresh, man. I think he has a good build for that hair. I know it's gonna sound stupid, but he has a good build for that haircut, like broad shoulders and stuff. And the short hair makes him look kind of more menacing. So I liked it. I thought Jackson Riker looked pretty good.
Fair enough, my man. I think Elias is definitely going to get over as the baby face in this feud, and I think Elias is going to kill it with live crowds when they return. But Elias taking the cheap way out, walking out of this match. He didn't want to continue on, playing into the idea that Riker really is a loose cannon. One more thing there, Botch Guy?
Wait, did you... So you're saying that Elias is going to be the babyface in this feud?
Fans are not going to cheer Riker. They just won't. They're going to try to push him as the babyface, but as soon as the live fans come back, if this is still a feud that's going on and they're trying to get Riker over Elias, it's never going to work. It just will not. Unfortunately.
Maybe he'll get no reaction, kind of. Maybe.
If he gets no reaction, he should be joining the other Forgotten Sons on the unemployment line. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre raised stakes for the WWE Hell in a Cell clash when they sign the contract. I love this segment. Bobby Lashley looked great with all the Lashley ladies. McIntyre, finally, after I want to say about 2 months, he felt like a legitimate main eventer again. That story about Scotland's freedom was incredible. He did not flub his words at all. And then at the end of the segment, he pulled out a giant sword and split the table in half. Dope segment. CWrestling, were you a fan of this one?
Do you know what? It's got me excited for Hell in a Cell. Drew stood in that ring, or sat in the ring, and said that he was going to use every weapon under the ring and tear the flesh off of Lashley. Do you think we're going to get a segment or a moment with him and the sword inside Hell in a Cell?
Oh, that would be attempted murder, but maybe. Botch Guy, any thoughts with that?
Like, it would be a cool visual, but like that's pretty much as far. What is he gonna have? Slice him in half? Like he's gonna go full, like, I don't know, trunks on him? Like, I don't know.
This is the last pay-per-view without fans back. They can do anything.
They can do anything.
Sure. They did. Miz was eaten by zombies. Just want to mention.
They could do anything. Like, I mean, we just had a doll stare Shayna Basler in the mirror. Like, I mean, they could literally do anything. But yeah, that would be cool, seeing a big-ass sword inside a big-ass cell. Maybe he tries to stab him, and I don't know.
I've just got this vision of
wrestling.
like a CGI Bobby Lashley being cut in half.
Oh, what? Okay, all right.
Wait for it.
Batista, rude. It's Riker. Yeah, it is.
See?
Oh, man. But the big announcement out of this contract signing is it's going to be inside Hell in a Cell. At the bare minimum, this feud does feel like it could culminate inside the cell, right? We've spoken in the past about how some feuds don't really feel like they are built for Hell in a Cell. This one, at the bare minimum, feels like it could be a Hell in a Cell match, so I'm looking forward to it. We got ourselves Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo, ending in a double countout. Very solid match for as quick as it was. Both men showed everything that they had up their sleeves. But the double countout off of the Spanish fly to the outside of the ring is leading us towards possibly a triple threat for the U.S. title. CWrestling, your thoughts on this one?
Ooh. We're definitely getting a triple threat. Hell in a Cell, triple threat for the title. And I'm fine with it. Sheamus looks badass with a broken nose.
Mm-hmm. He does. Every few years, they love to break out that nose guard, don't they? Botch Guy?
Boo! I don't like the double count out at all. I thought the match was fine. They've had better matches between the two. I'm still waiting for Ricochet to turn heel. I've been waiting since he came onto the roster. I'm done with it. I just Humberto Carrillo looks great right now because everything that they're doing with him fits him as a character and everything, like the underdog story. Well, now you throw Ricochet in here, and now you're just trying to milk the underdog by times 2, basically. So I'm not feeling it. We're gonna get a triple threat, and I'll enjoy it. I think it's gonna be a great match. I think Sheamus is like Sheamus looked like a goof in the background, like kind of just cracking up during the match. So like I'm a fan of Sheamus. I think the mask looks great, fits his character great. But I would love to see Ricochet turn heel already. Come on, like maybe they will. Maybe after the triple threat match they'll lose and Ricochet will turn on Humberto. Maybe that's why they're doing it, right? Maybe. Have him turn on Humberto, start a feud with Humberto, and heel King Ricochet, or whatever the hell his Prince Ricochet, I think it's called.
It'd be really cool if they wanted to give him that King Ricochet gimmick. Another King of the Ring. Corbin is obviously in the process of losing his crown to Nakamura. You could build up the idea of Ricochet versus Nakamura in the finals, and it would be a literally unpredictable King of the Ring finals. It would be fun to watch. Would you guys like to see the King of the Ring tournament come back? CWrestling,
yes.
Botch Guy? Yeah?
Nakamura has to win it, though.
And a Queen of the Ring, please.
Queen of the Ring. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, while we're handing out things.
Yeah, that needs to happen. Yeah, there you go. Or Charlotte Flair.
That works too.
Oh, the heat. Can you imagine the heat on Charlotte if she were to win that? It would be nuclear.
Maybe Baron wins again.
God, another 4 years of King Corbin. Jeff Hardy defeating Cedric Alexander. Just a few weeks ago, we talked about we don't understand why old people like Shelton Benjamin were beating Cedric Alexander, and Jeff Hardy beating Cedric Alexander here. I don't follow. I don't comprehend. I know we were just also talking about how Jeff Hardy deserves better, but not at the expense of a young up-and-coming talent who has been compared to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All right? But your guys' thoughts on this one? Jeff Hardy beating Cedric.
See, let me start on this one, buddy. It's so stupid. Yes, Hardy needed a win. He did. Don't make him get a win against Cedric Alexander, who just came off a double win against Benjamin, showing that he's superior to him. Like, what is the point? What is the point? Like, why do you even bother? Why do you even bother pushing a guy, Cedric, having him win this feud, this 2-for-1 feud with Benjamin, and then have him lose next week, completely throwing away any sort of push that he had immediately, unless they're going to make him now win 2 out of 3 against Hardy, right? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Botch is done. He's just so done.
I want to swear so bad. It drives me effing insane when they look. My camera went up. I'm done.
He's done right there. CWrestling, your thoughts with Hardy beating Alexander?
Just like Botch Guy said, it's to book another rematch. We're going to get the same match again this week on Raw, and probably the week after as well. And I hate the idea of these rematches, but if that's going to be Cedric's new thing, okay.
What? Just lose the first match and then win 2 after? It's like when they, what is it? They say like you go to play pool and you're just going to try to get somebody's money. You let them win the first one and then you scorch them afterwards, right?
Well, what's Drew McIntyre's thing? Because he keeps getting championship matches.
True. That's true. Somehow they're both in the same scenario here. Amazing match that we had over on Monday Night Raw. Nikki Cross and her mystery partner Asuka defeating Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. This might have been my favorite match on the show. I thought this was bloody fantastic. CWrestling, we'll start with you. What did you think about these 4 women?
I love that Nikki Cross got the pin over Rhea. That's really cool. My only concern is I think that what they're going to do is they're going to have Rhea versus Charlotte, obviously, at Hell in a Cell. And then whoever wins it, they're going to turn around and just have them face Nikki and beat her, and it's all for nothing anyway. So,
yeah, that is probably a thing that'll happen. You're calling it from a long ways out. Botch Guy, your thoughts with this match?
I thought the match was really good. Nikki Cross is looking more credible every week. I like the fact that she is looking more credible, even though the first, those 5-minute matches.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
I could do without, but I guess gimmick wise, she is getting pushed, and people are talking about her more, and that's important. So that's really good for Nikki Cross. I thought the match was good. Rhea Ripley. I am you guys know me. I'm the biggest Rhea fan ever, and I don't know if it's booking or it's just. Why don't I have that passion? Water. Why don't I have that passion for her anymore?
Let me tell you why, Botch Guy. Because WWE doesn't have a freaking clue what type of character Rhea Ripley is. She is the women's champion, and she does not have a defined character. Depending on who she's facing, she's either babyface or heel, and that works in the middle of the card. It does not work when you're holding a top championship. It is confusing as hell, and it makes it impossible to either root or boo for that character. CWrestling, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they brought Rhea up simply to make her the champion. At a time when obviously Charlotte had walked away for a bit, there was some confusion going on there. She missed WrestleMania and stuff. And I think she was brought up simply to fill that void. And they didn't have a long-term plan for her as champion, much like they didn't have a plan for Asuka as champion.
100%. You nailed it there. It is very similar to how Asuka was booked, where they just didn't know how to book her, and because the women's division is lacking defined characters all across the board on the main roster, they don't know who to put her up against, whether it's, should it be the face or should it be the heel that she goes up against? Like, to me, there is no reason why she should be playing the good guy against Charlotte Flair, but then go and beat up Nikki Cross for 2 minutes straight and then be an idiot and forget that 2 minutes was on the clock. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense that way, how they continue to book Rhea Ripley. But I must say, this match, I really did enjoy the way that Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley interacted with each other, whether it be tagging each other in, whether it be slapping her on the head. It was really entertaining, and I thought it was the best match of the night. We have Mansoor defeating Drew Gulak. Earlier in the night, Ali talked to Mansoor, and he said, "Are you sure you're ready? Do you know what you're going to do if he pokes you in the eye? If he rolls you up by the tights, what are you going to do?" And basically, Ali was just getting in the head of Mansoor, and Mansoor listened. He defeats Drew Gulak with his own surprise roll-up after Drew Gulak tried to hook him by the tights. And that's the story there. Your guys' thoughts on Ali and Mansoor together? Botch Guy?
Good low-end storyline with a proper small build-up into a proper ending to attach to the story. So I thought it was well done. Mansoor has a lot of charisma, a lot more charisma than a lot of people think he has. Mm-hmm. I think he has more star talent than I think a lot of people think he has. So I would love to see where he keeps going. As for Mustafa Ali, he's lost. He doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do with him. And it's a shame because he's an immensely talented wrestler, but he's lost. He doesn't have I don't know. Yeah, he's lost.
I'm glad to see that Mansoor is getting the ability to show off his charisma because he is a gigantic draw over in Saudi Arabia. We've already seen that. People root for him big time over there. So, they've got a star, an international star that is starting to grow. CWrestling, your thoughts, is Ali lost?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think his character right now makes sense. I think they're just doing a second sort of Chad Gable storyline.
Yeah.
Where he's going to recruit people to tag with him. Like, we've just had him be the hacker, retribution leader, and now he's just walking around backstage in a suit in a company he didn't agree with and didn't like. Like, there's no long-term booking decision there to keep him, going. It's very strange.
The only thing that I can hope for with Ali is that this attitude that he has backstage is going to lead to a breaking point somewhere down the line, right? You can tell that he's just bubbling under the surface with how upset he is with whatever his story may be, right? And it's coming across on screen. And I really hope WWE is able to lay into that and continue to showcase him some way backstage and then have him snap. And then that be the catalyst for the Ali character that we all know he could be.
But Con, let's just say hypothetically, he's snapped, right? And he goes out and he attacks, who's a mid-carder right now? Or a good mid-carder. I don't know, whatever. He snaps and attacks. I know I'm probably not even on the same show, but whatever. Big E. Okay, he snaps. He lost his mind, attacks Big E. Looks great. What's his character then? You still have no character for him.
That's WWE's job to absolutely find it, and it's also on Ali to find it. And you know what? It's not just on WWE either. Ali has been given some stuff, and the stuff that he has killed, he's done a good job with, but it isn't always every single week. It's not always the most consistent. So it's on Ali as well. He's got to step up.
Con, his best stuff, they didn't even put on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
Yes,
his
I know
best stuff were on Twitter, on Instagram, on the YouTube accounts. His best stuff, seriously, amazing.
His stuff against Ricochet, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was fantastic. So he stepped up there, and that's WWE's now job. It's not just on WWE or just on Ali. He's got to prove that he is at that level, and it's unfortunate because he proves that he's at that level every time he's not on TV. Every time that he has no script in front of him, he proves that he can be at that level. But right now in WWE, he is hit and miss on screen. He really is. And some of his segments are really good. Some of his segments get me thinking. Other segments get me thinking, why is this on TV? Even if you go back to his Retribution stuff, right? Some of it was really good. Some of it wasn't. And yes, that's on WWE, but it's also on the performer. So hopefully everything will work out with Ali. And I do hope that, this is going to lead somewhere, but I'm not overly confident in it.
Hey, can I just mention something random here? I just was going back to the Roman Reigns thing. Imagine Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, they lose or whatever. And Roman Reigns basically says, hey, I want you to be an adopted member of our family, Dominic, but I need you to attack Rey Mysterio and turn heel. And then then maybe Dominic Mysterio joins the Roman Reigns group, maybe temporarily, just Roman's kind of manipulating him, continues that storyline a little bit. You can do something like maybe put a mask on Dominic, and then you have a Dominic versus Rey Mysterio storyline. Ta-da.
Sure. That's not bad. I would have to see it on paper. I heard a bunch of things get spurred out there, and I'm not really sure I followed. But it might be pretty good. But then we got ourselves the co-main event of the night on Raw. Kofi Kingston defeating Riddle. Thought this was really good. You guys both agree here? Kofi Kingston and Riddle put on a barn burner. CWrestling?
Match was fine. I don't mind Riddle losing because it was a singles match, and as Botch Guy said, the focus should be RK Bro. And as a tag team, being a tag team, they're still not been pinned, they're still not tapped out, so that's fine. Maybe it's a confidence or something of Riddle. And I like that because Orton's the veteran. Orton's the one that should be teaching Riddle. So Riddle will make mistakes because Orton needs to teach him that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and the mistake that he made there was when he was going for the RKO. Randy Orton was telling him, just stay on him. Don't give him any chance to breathe. And he gave him a chance to breathe, and that was the mistake. I really quite enjoyed that little bit to it. Botch Guy, your thoughts on this match?
Good match. Riddle You know what's funny about Riddle? He's really progressed incredibly well on the main roster, like better than I thought I could probably do. I don't know who's writing his stuff. Some of his backstage segments and even the ones in the ring are hilarious. Like what was the one he used this week? It wasn't the key.
I'm wearing 2 shirts.
Yeah, the 2 shirts thing was so funny. I was legitimately like
because Randy doesn't wear a shirt. Like
I love it. That's really good writing. That's excellent writing. I think his wrestling has been just as good as his writing. I think Riddle is just looking more and more credible every single week, and I love the pairing with Randy Orton. I do agree it is a teaching moment, and I like the fact that they are continuing doing stuff with Randy Orton and Matt and Riddle. I'm just a little salty about the Battle Royal, to be honest. But I guess now, like, okay, so Con, let me ask you quickly, what's next for RK Bro? What do you do? Who are they feuding against? What's happening?
With each other still a little bit because they're not quite yet on the same page. I think Randy Orton is going to continue to be cautious with Riddle. Riddle's going to continue to be Riddle and say all the funny things that he possibly can and try to win over Randy. I think that's the story right now. I don't think we have to look into it anymore. I think down the line they will position them for the tag team titles, but right now the goal is to get them as over as a tag team, I think, in terms of the odd couple pairing. I think so. But see,
I really want to see Randy come out with riding the scooter.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Just comes out on the scooter, you know. But Botch Guy, like you're, where do you think they go with this one from here?
I thought it was for the titles, but now, I guess they just continue feuding against each other. I don't know what they're going to do with Randy Orton right now. I like him with Riddle. I don't want to see them break up. I don't want to see them hinting breakups. I want them to be a tag team together that is quirky, that is different, that makes no sense, and entertain us on a weekly basis. I think that's something I want to see.
What I love hearing about that is that you want to see it. And that word right there tells me WWE is doing everything to make us want to see them as a tag team. They are giving us the segments that is getting us to buy into this tag team, but it hasn't been fully delivered yet. There's still more of the story to tell. So I'm personally very excited to see where they go from here. But then let's talk about the freaking doll, man, the Alexa's Playground. And like, look, I'm not going to crap all over this, okay? But I'm also not going to sit here and say that it is the best thing that's ever happened to wrestling like I've seen some people saying. I think that this is a weird middle ground that people will probably watch on YouTube in the future and laugh at. It was what it was. CWrestling, your take on it.
Heel turn, here it comes.
I didn't like it.
All right.
Wow. CWrestling didn't like something to do with the feed and Alexa. Oh my God! I've never seen this happen.
It was one of those moments for me. The supernatural stuff is fine. I don't mind any of that. I liked that. That's my favorite stuff in wrestling. But there was no payoff. There was no OMG moment. and it just made Shayna look weird.
Yeah.
You've legit got a prize fighter. You've got a UFC fighter running away from a doll. And
yeah.
I don't know. And I get that there's going to be a payoff eventually, but how many more weeks do you continue to build Alexa Bliss and not have a payoff?
Yeah, there needed to be something big in that main event. There really did. And like have you guys, either of you, watched it back a second time on YouTube or something? Like, have you given it another watch? A few times? Yeah. I feel like it's better the second time. I will admit that. I had a better time watching it the second time than the first, but it didn't feel like it should be closing off the show. Definitely didn't feel like it should close off the show, but also, we were all thinking there was going to be something bigger, and that led to the letdown. Botch Guy, your takes on this?
It's gonna be your lucky day. I did a Did You Catch That video? I never posted it, just personally because it was really short. I'm gonna actually play it for you guys. You guys can show you my opinions on it because it's so funny. There's so many Easter eggs, that you don't even realize. Like, for example, when Shayna Baszler was running around, when the two doors happened, one door was like the pushing door and the other door was like a handle. Did you know she tried to pull the pushing door?
Missed that.
Push the handle. For example, there was a background shadow effect, literally from the camera guy, and the entire time, there was like talk in the background, kind of sounded like people were laughing.
Oh.
There are so many small. I don't have to play for you guys, but it's just there's so many funny little things from that segment. The segment was ridiculous. Like, just to let you know, like I love even like the production difference. Did you guys notice when it went from producing to like non-producing? Like, they changed the camera angles on that like four different times. That one was live audience and one was completely scripted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Wasn't the last camera shot live with Shayna in that room? It felt different, I think.
So the moment it changed was the stomp of the animal, or of the doll. Then they changed the camera. Then they retransitioned back to the crowd. They changed another cinematic camera again. They transitioned to the crowd. The moment Shayna went to the back, it was all pre-recorded.
Yeah, figured that part. So it was all pre-recorded, even the last one, because it felt certainly like the last camera angle that they had when she locked herself in the room. It felt like that one was a little more live, but I don't know if it was.
It's crazy. There's so many small little Easter eggs from that thing. That did you notice the pole? What do you call that pole? The metal. The big thing that fell down.
The big thing that fell down. Let's call it that.
Yeah. Did you notice that it was curved?
No, missed that part. Botch Guy, you should upload this video over to your Twitter or something. That way people can see what you're talking about.
Maybe I could. No, I'll get DMCA'd in like 2 seconds. But I'll just show you 10. Oh no, I can't right now. It won't let me. Oh shoot. Oh, you know what? You guys want me to put it? I don't mind. Wait. Let me just fast forward to the funny parts. I was near the end here. Okay. All right, so take a look at this. Where's my audio? Oh no, it looks really bad like this. So look, there's a guy hiding behind. Did you actually notice there's a guy hiding behind pushing the things over?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You need to upload this video somewhere, man. It's not going to work through here.
Look, it's curved. It's curved. Did you see those curved?
A little bit. Tough to see.
It's going to come up in 2 seconds. Here it comes. Wait. Look, it's curved. The thing is curved. It's completely curved.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny things. And even like near the end, like if you look at the nameplate, they actually covered it because they don't want to show like whatever the nameplate was.
Man, Botch Guy picking out all those little things there.
Did you catch that?
Did you catch that?
I never did post it though. I should have posted it.
Yeah, you had a lot of stuff there apparently that people didn't catch. But let's go on over to NXT. Speaking about not catching it, our Mr. Botch Guy has not caught this one, but that's more than okay. We're going to tell you what happened on the show. It was a bloody fantastic show. I've been enjoying NXT so much recently. I know CWrestling has been a big fan of it as well. C, did you like the show here tonight?
For a go-home show, it was amazing.
Yeah,
sometimes go-home shows have the thing where they just suck, and this one didn't.
Yeah, with NXT TakeOver in your house coming this Sunday, that's what he means by go-home show. It looks like the card is pretty solid. and we got a few more matches that were kind of finalized on this one. So let's start off with Oney Lorcan defeating Austin Theory. Great opening match. Really the best Austin Theory has ever looked. CWrestling, would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, sending him to NXT was the best thing WWE did.
100%.
It's sort of one of those situations where you look and you think, God, how close was he maybe to being someone that was potentially released? And we would have missed out on him in NXT so much, you know?
His goofy stuff with Johnny Gargano is amazing. Botch Guy, are you a fan of The Way?
Sorry, I thought I was not in this. I was just scrolling on Twitter, retweeting our stream and liking our. Hey, I was retweeting and liking our stream. Okay,
Botch Guy fully in it. He's right here. Like he says, okay, tunnel vision. Like, okay, Botch Guy, focus. Okay, buddy. Are you a fan of The Way?
Johnny Gargano and crew, right? Yes. Yeah. They're funny. I think they're a nice little comedic group, but I don't want to see Johnny. Okay, there has been very serious wrestlers that done comedy gimmicks and worked. The King, right? You know, Daniel Bryan and things. So I guess it makes sense. But Johnny Gargano, to me, I feel like Johnny Gargano should be like in this own little kind of planet. And I don't know about the whole having him in a stable. I'm not feeling it, man. Like
really?
I don't know. I think they're hilarious. I think they're funny. I like the group itself. You know, Austin Theory, I think looks better like being in a group like that, but I don't know. I don't know. I would much rather be interested in like what they have going on with what's it called, the Hit Row.
Well, there was more stuff with Hit Row here today on NXT as well. But honestly, it's okay. Like, if you're not a fan of The Way, I wonder what people here in the live chat think about The Way with Johnny Gargano. I'm a giant fan. For me, it's just the goofy stuff that they do, from like the high five, not looking at each other, and Austin Theory has begun doing the hand symbol like with a W like this. Next thing I want to see him doing is chanting way while putting the W symbol up in the air. I want to see that, mocking Daniel Bryan a little bit. But yeah, I love The Way. I love this match. Oney Lorcan defeating Austin Theory was awesome. And that might have been the best Oney has looked in a while, too, since Danny Burch got injured. Would you agree with that, CWrestling?
Yeah, it's really refreshing as well to see a tag wrestler actually being used when their partner's not there.
Mm-hmm. It really is. We then got ourselves Legado del Fantasma standing in the center of the ring, and he had some words, Santos Escobar, for the North American champion, Bronson Reed, after last week, where he squished him up against the side of the CWC. He proceeded to show everybody a million times how many times he squished him, just over and over and over again on the big screen. And of course, Santos Escobar was not a fan of that one. He called him down to the ring. So Bronson Reed, being the big guy that he is, the thick boy, went down to that ring, and MSK came on out to help him. We got a stare down and the announcement. CWrestling, would you like to tell everybody what that announcement was?
So in your house, it's going to be a 6-man match with Bronson Reed and MSK versus Legado del Fantasma for all the championships.
Woo-wee! I'm a fan of that. When was the last time we saw a 6-man tag match with the tag titles and a singles title on the line? Like, legitimately. Does it spark your memory at all, guys? Last time we saw that match? Something like that? No?
They actually said on the bump today that they actually have a history of in your house where they put multiple titles on the line in one match.
Oh,
so it's like, I think it's like a little throwback thing, but I don't know what it's a throwback to.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, I'm pumped to see that match. Legado del Fantasma, for me, has been a group that I didn't care about at the start, and now I love. Like, I cannot get enough of Santos Escobar, his overall presentation. I think Santos Escobar is everything they wanted Andrade to be. Everything they wanted him to be. But Andrade he did not have the English-speaking ability to truly get his character over with the North American crowd. Santos Escobar is fantastic. You a fan of him, Botch Guy?
I think he's probably been the most underrated, developed person on NXT. I think the whole group just looks awesome right now. And I'll say this, man. I was just like you. I didn't care for him at the beginning very much. But now, man, every time he has a match, I know I didn't watch NXT this week, but every time he has a match, man, is it ever good? Like, and it's not just the match; it's his mannerisms, the facials he uses. This, I was really high on Angel Garza. I wonder if he might actually have a higher potential than even him. Okay. I'm really curious where they're going to go with this. I'm curious who's going to win that match too. That should be a fun
It's
one.
going to be a good one. There's no two ways about it. But then after they had their little stare down and the match was made, Hit Row came out and had a stare down with Legado del Fantasma and also with MSK and Bronson Reed. So immediately, Hit Row is being positioned as the next group to go after the North American title and the tag team titles after this 6-man tag team match. I am so here for it. Top Dollar looks amazing. I can't wait to see more of him in the ring. Shante Adonis, his charisma is off the charts. B-Fab, she's amazing. And then, of course, Swerve Scott. We all know what he can do in that ring. So I'm a big, big fan of this group.
What are the names again? One more time.
B-Fab is the girl. Top Dollar, Ashante Adonis, and Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Top Dollar.
Top Dollar. AJ Francis. Top Dollar.
That's a great name.
Top Dollar. Who hotter?
Can you imagine if Retribution instead of T-Bar and Mace, you'd have like Top Dollar and Swerve Scott? Like, this sounds so much cooler.
And it's also dope that they rap their own theme song. Everybody has a part in that theme song. It's now available on YouTube if you want to listen to it.
Really?
Yep, it's a banger. And
you can't play it right by any chance, can you?
No, I can't, unfortunately. But it's an absolute banger if anybody wants to go take a look at it. It's so good. But this led us into the match where Isaiah Swerve Scott defeated Killian Dane, playoff of last week with their confrontation in the parking lot. This was a good match. Really surprised at how good Killian Dane looked. I think he's got more to offer than what he's being used as right now. But your thoughts there, CWrestling?
I really like Killian Dane. I think I've liked him since he was Insanity. So it's kind of confusing a little bit because I think his storyline's changed a lot with Alexander Wolf being released.
Yeah.
But again, I think, at least they're still using him and they've still got stuff for him. So
Botch Guy's totally listening to Hit Row's theme song over there.
100%.
And by the way,
B-Fab is rapping right now. B-Fab
Hit Row. By the way, everybody in the live chat, I want to know from you guys, which show did you think was the best this week? Do either vote NXT, vote SmackDown, or vote Raw right in the live chat. But right now, NXT is leading by a decent amount. We got Mercedes Martinez defeating Amari Miller, but that's not really the talking point. Right before this match, Xia Li came out and attacked Mercedes Martinez from behind, continuing their feud going into NXT TakeOver in your house. Mercedes threw Xia Li over the barricade to eliminate her from ringside and then just destroyed poor Amari Miller in that ring. CWrestling, what did you think about Mercedes here?
I think she looks amazing. The dominance of her is brilliant. And just by the way, I hate the idea of the rumors going around that she might join Eva Marie.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. So you're not a fan of that idea?
No.
Botch Guy, are you
joining who?
So Mercedes Martinez possibly joining Eva Marie. Would you want to see that, Botchy?
No, I want to see Piper Niven. Instead. I did hear about those rumors. Piper would be a better choice just because I feel like she could be a pretty big star in the WWE. She has charisma, talent. Her look is unique, definitely. I think that would be a better kind of partnership. But again, what is Eva Marie? What? I don't understand. Carmella is Eva Marie. So I don't
Your
know.
reaction right there is why they're bringing her back. That's why. Because people already hate her. People already hate her.
I don't hate her. I just don't know what they're doing with her. What?
I really hope when they bring her back, they have that man doing the announcing for her as well.
I do,
you remember
too.
Do you remember when they come down?
All red everything, Eva Marie.
And then whatever reason, she just didn't wrestle.
Yeah. Do you remember when her top fell off and that was the reason why she couldn't wrestle?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all red everything, Eva, role model, Marie. That's what they're doing with her right now, right?
Right, the role model, the evolution. They leaned into it, didn't they? They knew what would get people hating her. Like evolution, when people have been begging for an evolution pay-per-view again. Like, come on.
Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, they're making people hate her.
Yeah, they're trying to.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was the opposite. I thought they were trying to make people like her.
No, she is going to be a detestable heel. There is nobody who's going to be cheering for her.
But she's a role model, guys.
Oh, so yeah. The freaking role model.
I'm just screwing her out.
I know. God, but yeah.
Back to this Hit Row theme song.
When she back to the Hit Row theme, but when she does eventually make her debut, whether it be with Mercedes Martinez, Piper Niven, or somebody else, people are going to hate her. But I really hope, and I truly hope, that she is developed in the ring to be a competent wrestler, because that's all she was missing during her last gimmick. People now don't want to admit it, but Eva Marie was incredibly over as a heel. Incredibly. CWrestling, do you remember watching her in NXT? Did you see her down there?
Yeah, it was a big transition from NXT because she was semi-decent. Mm-hmm. And then the minute she went back up to the main roster, they just sort of did that heel character where she didn't want to wrestle and didn't do anything with her, and then seemingly just released her. So yeah, it's very, very strange because she was semi-decent in NXT. The crowd in NXT warmed to her quite a lot.
If I'm not mistaken, she had a match against Bayley down in NXT, and the crowd was so hot for that match because they hated Eva Marie. They did not want to see Eva Marie in NXT. She had the go-away heel heat in NXT, and Bayley was the lovable babyface, and it made an incredible match. Botch Guy, did you see any of that stuff?
Jason Jordan. Why am I mentioning his name? You're probably
yeah, I
am. Jason Jordan had some of the craziest heat you'll ever see in wrestling. I'm not even exaggerating. Go back and watch this heat that he gets, and it's so similar to the Eva Marie type heat, where it's so like people hated him so much that it actually got him completely over. And I'm telling you right now, if you went back and you watched some of the Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle stuff and all the stuff that he did with them, I'm telling you, the heat is amazing.
Nuclear.
And now, like nuclear X-Pac type heat. And I'm telling you right now, like Eva Marie, I think it's going to be nuclear. I think it's like for no reason, just because she's, I don't know, pretty, I guess. I don't know, like what?
For no reason, she's saying it's the evolution. There's a reason.
Non-gimmick wise, before the evolution, like why do people hate Eva Marie so bad? Like why? What is it about her?
Okay, so like really diving in, she wasn't a good wrestler. That was just the straight up truth of it. And she also got
bad wrestlers.
She also got on TV and was all over Total Divas, and she wasn't viewed as a wrestler. She was viewed as somebody who just got there because of her looks, right? We've heard that time and time again from like Trish Stratus, Carmella, yada, yada, yada. I hope that this run for Eva Marie allows her to show everybody that she can develop as a wrestler, and maybe she'll be a must-see attraction in WWE, but we'll see, won't we?
But that's how I got to this live stream, just with my looks too. So why don't people hate me? I don't understand.
They do.
Oh.
Oh, he turns his camera off. He's gone. Bye, little Botch Guy.
Lucha.
All right, let's talk about the next segment here. Ted DiBiase announcing the return of the $1 million title. Ted DiBiase is going to hang that title high above the ring for Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. Winner becomes the $1 million champion and continues to hold on to the $1 million legacy. There was a golden ladder in the ring as well. I am so excited for this one. Cameron Grimes, what a babyface promo. I thought he was going to be heel through and through, and he would never be able to get over as a babyface, but he got over as a babyface there. CWrestling, your thoughts on this segment?
I thought the segment was great. I'm very torn about Sunday. I really want Cameron Grimes to win. But then I'm watching LA Knight, and there are total ringmaster vibes with that dude. Mm-hmm. And I really want him to win the belt too. So I don't know who I want to win for Sunday.
It's a tough one. The heel heat would be there if DiBiase screwed over Grimes and aligned himself with LA Knight, but also the partnership of $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes is just too good to pass up on, I think. Botch Guy, your thoughts on these three, I should say?
Didn't see it.
But what's your thoughts on the three? Have you seen any of this stuff with the $1 Million?
Yeah. I think I think it works. I think it makes sense for Cameron Grimes. But I've never been like a massive Cameron Grimes fan. So like for me personally, it doesn't do as much for me as maybe for you personally. I think Cameron Grimes is talented. But I think his gimmick probably actually might do better on the main roster because it's kind of corny. I actually think his gimmick would work probably better on the main roster. So for that reason, I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. But at the same time, I as a casual fan, I don't think people will understand Cameron Grimes personally. But I think as a hardcore fan, I think people will enjoy him for sure. And having $1 Million Man do anything is great. I think he's done a good job. I his promos backstage is so funny.
I feel like Cameron Grimes is touching on a lot of pop culture stuff right now, and not necessarily pop culture in terms of entertainment, but like things that are happening right now, with the stock market, the boom and all that, making a character out of it. I feel like he's really in touch with what is kind of going on with society at the current moment, and he's always going to have some gimmick that plays off of that. And I think you're right, Botch Guy. A character like that would do wonders on the main roster. His run as being this slimy, gross heel that just is over the top with everything that he does would work perfectly on the main roster. Imagine Randy Orton coming out and hitting an RKO and just leaving on him. You know what I mean? Like you could have it would work.
Santino. He's a Santino.
He's a Santino. But he's also so good in that ring. CWrestling. Any other thoughts here with Cameron Grimes?
I agree. He should be on the main roster. I think imagine if you was booking this like for a pay-per-view in WWE, the way they've booked it, like they haven't wrestled a match. There's no rematch. This is fresh. It's new. It's cool. Just put it on the main roster instead of NXT. This kind of story.
Absolutely, and especially with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, like that has main roster written all over it. And I get it. NXT is its own brand, and you got to create good TV down there. But it just goes to show the difference in writing. Just thinking outside of the box, the segments that they produced with LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, it's been so good. So yeah, hopefully the main roster is in his future. We have the Grizzled Young Vets, another tag team and another act that should be on the main roster, versus August Gray and Ikemen Jiro. This one was what it was. Your thoughts there, CWrestling?
As you say, it was what it was. It was just a match. I thought it was okay. Again, I don't know who the other two were, so.
Yeah, August Gray has been on NXT a little bit recently, but yeah, that's pretty much it with that one. Botch Guy, you obviously didn't see that, but Grizzled Young Vets, are you a fan of them?
They're okay. I like the entrance with the thing that they say they think they do. That's pretty much all I know of them. I will say this though. You were talking about the Cameron Grimes. We were talking about the main roster and stuff like that. Like it just continues. Like Damian Priest got called up, did something with Bad Bunny, and like now they're trying there's nothing really for them. You gotta have something for these people that fit their characters when you call them up. And a guy like Cameron Grimes, you could easily write for. Like you could write silly stuff, you can write serious stuff, you can do anything for. While a guy like Damian Priest would be a little bit harder, right?
Yep, well said, Botch Guy. Poppy returned and she dropped her album on NXT, which I thought was pretty cool. I'd like to see WWE bring in some more celebrities for like that type of stuff, dropping their album on WWE. That's going to get some cross-promotional articles written for you. But Poppy returns, and she also reintroduces the crowd to Io Shirai. The Genius of the Sky is back. CWrestling. I think you're a fan of Io, correct?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and you happy to see her back now?
Yeah, I'm concerned that she's only there for this one match. I think she's not long for NXT. I think she's gonna get called up.
Okay, yeah, I could see that as well. You think it's Io Shirai, Candice LeRae? Is that the direction they're going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do the match, and then I think she's going to lose the match, and then probably just go away again and go on to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, not a terrible idea. I like Io Shirai. I think she should be brought up as well. Botch Guy, your thoughts on Io?
I think she should be on the main roster. I think if they're going to do a match, okay, great. Do one off. That's fine. I know CWrestling wants to see more of her down there. Personally, I would love to see her get called right back up. It's time. It's time. I've seen enough Io Shirai on NXT. I think it's time for her to get called up. Maybe start some storyline with Asuka, or maybe start something with Charlotte, or maybe, there's a lot of different things you could do. But I think it's time for Io Shirai to get called up. And I will say this, Poppy is cute as hell. And I love that I saw the backstage segment with Triple H and Dexter and all that. I thought that was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that part with Dexter.
He brought out the picture. I like that. That adds to his character as well. I love the fact that he's like a big picture guy, and, he draws and stuff like that really well. And I don't know. I love that. So, yeah, I want to see Io Shirai on the main roster. And, yeah, Poppy's cute as hell, man. She's cute.
CWrestling over there, were you a fan of this whole Poppy and Dexter Loomis thing with Indy Hartwell viewing it from the side and getting her heart broken yet again? Like, are you a fan of this? I'm a fan too.
the way they keep dragging this on but finding unique ways to do it is so cool, because that's what the main roster lacks. The main roster lacks things where they just do the same thing but in a unique way. Like this is something they need to replicate and bottle it and put it onto Raw, because Raw keeps doing rematches and the same thing over and over again. We don't want that. We want things to be at least feel different. Absolutely. And that's what they're doing with NXT.
I will say this, it doesn't hurt that the characters on the NXT are just simply more compelling characters a lot.
Yeah,
I know I'm not saying like the main roster doesn't have the talent or the gimmicks or the thing. They have some interesting characters on there, but I'm telling you, like you can pull, or like, out of the top of my head, without even thinking about it, I'm just talking gimmick-wise. I'm not talking about talent, because I'm not talking about Undisputed Era type stuff. I'm just talking about gimmicks. Cameron Grimes, you can put him on the main roster. I guarantee you can write for him easily. Dexter, you can put him on the main roster. You can write for him easily. Indy, you can write for her easily. Like there's so many, like Io Shirai, like there's so many easy options here that you can write. And I think when you have compelling characters, when you're doing these backstage segments, it's more natural, it's more organic, and which leads to happiness. So
absolutely. And it's interesting that you bring up the idea that NXT has more compelling characters, because as of right now, they absolutely do. And it just makes you wonder, why is that NXT has just so many more compelling characters when a lot of the characters on Raw have been in NXT. And that just goes to show it's the type of writing. I don't know if Raw, what they try to do that makes it feels so different, but NXT throughout their 2 hours, the show just flows so well. It's like they don't have any downtime. And Raw, it's just like, oh, well, let's go for this backstage interview, and then the interview doesn't give you anything. At least in NXT, every backstage interview has a purpose for a storyline.
Yeah.
That's what Raw is mainly missing. SmackDown's doing a much better job at it, but Raw is lacking with that storyline development with all the backstage promos.
And that's the thing. I think if they called Cameron Grimes up, as much as we would sit here as fans and say it's easy for him to face someone like Sheamus, they wouldn't. They'd put him in the 24/7 title picture against R-Truth in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's
and it'll be fine for a few weeks, but after then we get bored of it. So
I can see it happening too. Why hasn't a zombie won the 24/7 championship yet? That's what I'm trying to
Oh my God, that's totally what should have happened. They should have had like R-Truth come out with all the zombies and a zombie be the 24/7 champ.
Well, no, you have them get attacked, and one of the zombies trips over and lands on top of them, and the referee, a zombie referee, just starts.
Zombie referee, 1, 2.
3, and then you have and then the zombie just
arm falls off,
stays down there, and the zombie throws the title on top of his back or something, and he's like, right? And they cut to a commercial.
Don't give them ideas. When they revamped ECW, they literally had a character called the Zombie, so it would happen.
It will happen. It will.
No, I'm not putting that on my Twitter, okay, guys?
And then the last segment that we're going to be talking about here on the Unnamed Wrestling Review, we got ourselves Adam Cole and the 4 other men. I don't know why I started off with Adam Cole, but the NXT champion Karrion Kross, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, And I'm blanking. Why am I blanking on the last one there? Pete Dunne. There we go. Pete Dunne is the last one in that matchup. They had a fatal 5-way face-off to finish off the show. Everybody was in that ring except for Adam Cole, who appeared up on the Titantron. And some words were exchanged. A brawl happened. And then out of nowhere, Adam Cole came down to the ring and hit a super kick on Karrion Kross in the last shot. So that was the ending of the show. Adam Cole stood tall. CWrestling, going into NXT TakeOver in your house, who do you think is going to walk out as the NXT champion?
I'm going to go with Pete Dunne.
Oh. Any reason?
I think they've had him hovering around the title picture for a while, but never really gave him a one-on-one proper, showcase to the match. And I think this would be a way to have him win the championship where he doesn't have to be the dominant one in the match. He can, pick the bones, be the heel, get that sort of championship win. And then I think the story's there for him versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Ooh, okay. So what do you think happens with Karrion Kross then?
Gets called up.
Oh, okay. All right. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Kross, he's got the girl, he's got the entrance, literally everything Adam Cole just said. Yeah, throw him up to the main roster. Botch Guy, your thoughts of these 5? Who's walking out as the NXT champion?
Pete Dunne.
Oh, wow. Both with Pete Dunne. Okay.
Way to steal my thunder, CWrestling. You.
I'm glad you started with me.
Man. Yeah, I think Pete Dunne's going to take it. I think the natural storyline there with Kyle O'Reilly. And I also believe that we're going to get some early call-ups. And I think they need to influx some people into Monday Night Raw because they can't write for them properly. So if you can't write for them, just have someone that writes for himself. And that's Karrion Kross. And Finn Balor, I see him getting called up as well. I would not be shocked if you see Kross and Finn Balor on Monday Night Raw as soon as the next 3 months. I think it's happening. Maybe even 2 months from now. I think it's maybe after SummerSlam, actually. But I see a huge influx of talent coming up because I think they're desperate. I think they're getting desperate now. And Pete Dunne.
I agree. And, but I do not. So I agree with everything that you just said, except for who is going to win. And here's my thought process. This final 5 right here, if you will, it feels like it's a lot of people who have already either had their chance towards the main event scene in NXT or just, we're just a step below that main event scene. And Karrion Kross right now feels like, boom, 2 or 3 steps above every single one of them. I think we're going to go in there, and I think Kross is going to dominate, and they're going to keep him as NXT champion. Yeah, I like the idea of bringing him up to the main roster. I think he would do wonders on the main roster, but I think Triple H is so high on this man. He wants this man to run NXT for the next year plus. That's my thought process.
It all depends on if he's going to get called up. If they decide to keep him down there, then you need to do exactly what you just said. Dominate, hold that division, and maybe call him up with the title. Have him have the title and has to just get rid of it because he's couldn't be beat type thing. They've done it before with Paige and other wrestlers. So Asuka, right? Asuka, right? So but if they do decide to call him up, Pete Dunne would be a nice option, and then you can influx Karrion Kross, man. Like they have a guy like that guy is not a joke. Like this isn't a normal guy. We always we overhype. Like this guy is like legitimate, badass, top card, main event. And Finn Balor, I could see him being on the top of the card, like easily start stuff. Like there's so many options, not just because they're NXT guys. I mean, technically Finn's not an NXT guy, but you know what I mean? Like there's just, there's ways to make Monday Night Raw more watchable without having to have great booking or storylines because they suck at it. That's one way.
Yeah. This is where WWE and NXT is actually a detriment to them because NXT has so many unique characters right now that you think about if they were on the main roster, no matter where they were on the card, Raw and SmackDown would be so good. Like it legitimately would be. If you took everybody from NXT UK and NXT that you have signed and you put those top tier talents on Raw and SmackDown, man, this would be a really, really good show. Imagine Walter against Bobby Lashley right now on Raw. Like, that's mega money to be made. But it's unfortunate that WWE just has so many brands going on that they have to fill with credible champions. But yeah,
Walter versus Roman Reigns.
Walter versus Roman Reigns.
Like the storyline there.
Walter versus
hasn't
Brock.
lost in forever.
Walter versus Brock. Just mega money matches. And you also start talking about Karrion Kross there, where he's not just another guy. Like, he's a legitimate superstar in the making. He's a guy to watch. Like, whenever he does get called up to the main roster, one to watch for sure. See?
Just to point out that Karrion Kross as well is undefeated. He's never been pinned, never tapped out.
Well, there you go.
Could I just mention something? That's a great point, C, by the way. I actually did not know that. I want to, okay, let me kind of figure this out here. I want to see the WWE have a call-up that's really creative to the point that I don't think this is ever done, and you guys can tell me if this has ever been done. I want to see 3 top guys, like huge big guys, like a Karrion Kross, like a Walter, and I don't know, maybe Bronson. 3 huge guys that can all be credible top guys. Have them get called up at the same time as a stable.
Yeah,
and the last time I was thinking is maybe the Shield, but technically you have the fast guy in there and you have the Oluni guy. But I'm talking about 3 big dominating guys that were in a group prior, became a group, and then had them split up. I think that would be very interesting because they would just dominate, and I think people would enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a call-up like that. I know we had something somewhat similar with the League of Nations. They tried to do with, like, Wade Barrett, Sheamus, Rusev, and whoever the frig the 4th one was. I can't remember.
That was already established. They were already...
like, that's what I mean. Like, there's never been a call-up, I think, that way. They've tried big men groups before in the past, and big men groups are hit and miss. So it all depends on, obviously, the characters and if they're able to get some momentum going. But yeah, I like that idea there, Botch Guy, just trying to think outside of the box, right? Not everything has to be something that's happened before. Not everything has to be cookie cutter, right?
Del Rio.
Oh, Del Rio was the last one, right? CWrestling, any last things there regarding NXT?
Just an amazing show. Really amazing show. For a go-home show as well, as I said at the start, like, it's just brilliant.
And that means we will be going live this Sunday with NXT TakeOver in your house right here on this YouTube channel. But now is the time to pass it over to Botch Guy and CWrestling. We'll start with Botch Guy. What do you got coming up? What do you got going on your channel? Let the people know.
First of all, thanks for joining us. I had a blast. Thanks for having me. I know the last 2 weeks I haven't been here for obvious reasons, but thanks for having me. What do I have? What did I have? Well, I just came off a monster collaboration with someone you might have heard of called WrestleLamia. Yeah, that was crazy. We gained like 1,000 subs in like a day, which was pretty wild. But so that was fun. And now I have upcoming just I have trivia today. Later today, I believe at 7 o'clock.
So 7 PS.
Yeah,
Pacific,
7
PS,
right? PST. So night. So if everybody wants to join me on there, and I have my Twitter. I just started Twitter like last month, not even a month ago. If you guys hit me up on there, that would be great. Botch_guy. I'll just drop the link right there. And yeah, other than that, just videos, the usual.
There you go. And Mr. CWrestling, what do you got coming up on your channel?
Coming up, probably the next video will probably be on Friday for Smackdown. Live stream will actually be back this Friday. I haven't done it for a few weeks, but we'll do it this week. And probably just videos covering NXT on Sunday.
Nice. There we go. So make sure you
guys... tell them about your thing.
What thing?
The thing.
I like to keep my thing in my, where, but
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. See,
yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil the thing.
Now I'm left in the dark. I'm like, what the frick? What's the thing?
The thing. See, the thing.
The thing.
The card thing.
Oh, I can't say that yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, then why did you just say nothing then?
He was trying. He was trying.
Oh, no, he said I didn't know what I was talking about. So
I didn't know what you was talking about.
Okay, now you know. Okay, at least
now you know. Hit row.
Hit row.
Okay, oh, man, now you know.
There's no thing.
There's no thing. CWrestling has no thing.
I'm kidding.
Erase your mind.
God, I'm just picturing CWrestling here before a face reveal. He had a thing reveal. Like, oh no.
That was the face reveal. That was the thing.
Was the thing. All right, everybody. Make sure you do drop that subscription over on Botch Guy and CWrestling's channel. Their links are in the description below. Make sure you leave a like on this video. That is going to do it for us here today. We are back tomorrow with the CMU at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My bad. 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow with the CMU. But until then, everybody, take care. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your night. I've been Con. That's Botch Guy. That's CWrestling. And that was the UnNamed Wrestling Review. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful day.